I am going to say something pretty controversial. Breast self exams are not helpful. How do I know this? Because I'm a preventive medicine physician and I am here to talk about all things prevention, all things screening, and all things health. Before we talk about screening details, let's talk about some numbers. Breast cancer is the leading cause of death among all women globally as well as in the United States. In 2022, 2.3 million women were diagnosed with breast cancer globally, of which over 670,000 women died of it. In the same time period, in the United States, over 280,000 women were diagnosed with breast cancer, of which over 42,000 women died from it. This means that globally, 1 in 48 women will die of breast cancer, and in the United States, 1 in 5,200 women will die of breast cancer. We've always known that the risk of breast cancer was high among women between 50 to 75 years of age, but now studies are showing that the rates of breast cancer among women between 40 to 49 years of age is also slowly on the rise, sometimes as much as by 2%. With this trend in mind, the US Preventive Services Task Force has updated its recommendations and now recommends that all cisgender women or people who are born female start screening for breast cancer at the age of 40 years and continue screening every 2 years until they reach the age of 75. Does that mean that the rates of breast cancer decreases when you turn 75? Unfortunately, the rates of breast cancer is still high when you are 75 years of age or older. In fact, the rates of breast cancer is high even when you're 85 years of age. But there have been no studies that have shown the benefits of screening among women in age groups of 75 years and older. The two best ways to get a screening for breast cancer is by doing a mammography. This can be a digital mammography or 3D mammography in consultation with your physician. How are these mammograms beneficial? Mammograms are done to examine your breast tissue for any early changes of breast cancer. If they are detected, then further tests, including a biopsy, could be done to see if the changes are cancerous. If they are, then appropriate treatment is initiated much earlier than what you would have done if you had not had screening. So, this brings me back to my controversial statement. Is self breast exam adequate for screening for breast cancer? And the answer to that is a resounding no. There have been multiple studies that have shown that there is no benefit to either rates of detection of breast cancer or survival rates for women who examine their breasts for breast cancer by doing self breast exams. Does that mean you should never do a self breast exam? Listen, you know your body best. If it makes you comfortable screening for breast cancer doing self breast exams, then definitely go for it. But do remember that self breast exams may not be able to find all kinds of breast lesions. Sometimes the lumps or the breast lesions can be seated very deep into your breast and you may not be able to feel it. Sometimes the changes can be so early on that a lump may not even have formed. And this can be seen by a mammography, but it may not be felt by your fingers. So just know that when you're doing self breast exams, there is a very high chance that you could miss some of the earlier changes of breast cancer, which could easily be treatable. These recommendations do not apply to women who have genetic markers or syndromes associated with high risk for breast cancer, and by that I mean BRCA genes, women who have had high dose radiations to the chest when they were young, or women who have previously had breast cancer or have had a lesion that's suspicious for breast cancer. In these cases, you will likely need more frequent screening, and this is something that you need to discuss with your physicians. So, to summarize, millions of women get diagnosed with breast cancer globally, and breast cancer continues to remain the leading cause of death among all women all over the world. Breast cancer can be detected earlier by using screening techniques like mammography. By screening, you could detect the breast cancer earlier and initiate treatment earlier. The US Preventive Services Task Force has recommended that women start screening for breast cancer at 40 years of age and get a mammogram every 2 years until they reach the age of 75. Unfortunately, self breast exams have not shown to be beneficial to increase the rates of detection of breast cancer or decrease the rates of dying from breast cancer. And with that, I hope you continue to prevent, screen, and stay healthy. Thanks for watching.